Welcome back, coding students. I want to give you one more algorithm that I've created for you to help you out for something that you'll need at a certain part of your work on this project. And it's the one method that I'm giving you in the file descriptor. You're going to solve the rest of them yourself. But this one is a method called contains real word. And what this does is it accepts a string that could be a word or a whole phrase, and then it checks and compares with this dictionary file that I provided you to see if any of the words match up with any of the words in the file. And the purpose of doing this is to check if what we are currently looking at actually has real English words in it. You're going to be using this for your brute force algorithm, which tries to automatically guess which cipher, which shift needs to be applied to unravel or decrypt a file. And it makes a guess based off of, well, it tries to determine if it succeeded based off the thing that gets turned into that gets converted actually contains any real words. So basically, you have a bunch of garbled, encrypted information and send it here. This is going to return false because it doesn't have any English words from the dictionary appearing in it. But if the phrase or the decrypted thing has some, it'll return true because it will locate and find some real words. You might actually need to repurpose some of this logic in other methods you create potentially. So I want to explain this really quick so that you can see how this works. I'm going to build a file reader because I want to be able to read from the dictionary file, which I have right here. I actually populate an array list of all the words. This small method here, what split does is it takes my string and it looks for every space. And then it pops out an array of individual words. So this breaks my phrase down into individual words so that I can look at the words one at a time. And then I set up a Boolean to hold information. Have I found a real word yet? Not yet. We're going to see what happens. Now I have a double loop. On the outer one, I take a look at all of my phrase words. How many words were popped in with the phrase? If only one, this will run once. If 5, this will run 5 times. And in the inner loop, I look at every single word in the dictionary. And I determine, have I actually found one that is a real word? I compare the word in my dictionary that I'm currently examining, and I check if it's equal to the word that I'm looking at in my phrase words that came into the method. Do also note that I run a to lowercase method on both of these because they won't be equal if they have different capitalization. So I just force them to be fully lowercase to be able to do this comparison directly. Another new strategy for you in this is a whole bunch of them tossed around in different sections at this part of the code. I just realized I can improve this a little bit. As soon as I find a real word, I'm pretty happy. I'm just going to break out at that point in time. I don't need to keep on looking through for efficiency. So as soon as I find one, this is true, and I break out, and then I return. Which means if I loop through every single word in my phrase and every single dictionary word, and I don't find any matches, that means the phrase that I've sent is definitely still encoded, and I fail to find an actual solution. This will be needed for one of your more advanced solutions in this section. You have to repurpose it and rebuild it in a different way. But I thought I'd leave that in the code I'm sending to you, tidy it up a little bit here, so that you can actually use this and kind of view how I solve this little problem of reporting on if a phrase contains a real word or not.